Hello guys and welcome back to Inside Devils, the talkSPORT show that keeps you bang up to date with everything going on inside and outside of Old Trafford. And of course it is all about transfers. That is all we care about right now. Transfers. Who's coming in and who is going out? What is our squad going to look like next season? To go through that plus a lot more, the band is back together again in person, in real life. It's tangible. They're actually here. Angelina Kelly is here. She's actually, to be fair, you're always here.
I was going to say,
yeah,
don't
that's true,
act
actually.
like I'm not here.
It's because, yeah, that's true. I'll take that back.
Thank you.
But the man to my left is not always here. Ryan Statman Douglas is here.
Good to be back, lads and lasses.
Right, let's get into some of the rumours and some of the things that have been happening, right? Mm-hmm. As early as today, Ben Jacobs has reported, and some guys at the Mail as well.
And Crookie.
And Crookie as well. It's quite a few people who've reported this, actually. Miles Lewis-Skelly has been offered to Manchester United. He's also been offered to Chelsea. What do we make of this? This is not the first time Miles Lewis-Skelly's name's come up, Ange.
I've been a big fan of the Miles Lewis-Skelly rumours. I've probably started some of those rumours myself months ago, saying that United should be going in for him. I think that he's a really good option. One thing that you always know when an Arsenal fan is getting annoyed at the idea of a player being sold, and Arsenal fans are getting rattled by the idea of
they don't want this to happen.
That's how you know that this is actually a good thing. But obviously left back is an issue that we've been talking about. He can fill in there. He can also go into midfield. Although he's young, he's clearly trusted by Arteta. We've spoken about it before. He's starting the Champions League final. I know he wasn't used as much last season, but is still very experienced for his age. The fact that he can switch from left back, he can go into the midfield. I know at left back he's struggled at times defensively.
Yeah, his favoured position is now central midfield. But
if we're looking for somebody to be the successor to Luke Shaw, then I think he's a really great option. Obviously, Lewis Hall has been at the top of the list. That doesn't seem to be happening, which I find frustrating because I find it hard to think that Man United just don't have the money to be going in for this when we spent, 85 million so far on two midfielders. So that is one that we would like. I've spoke about Jed Spence, being a big fan of his, but obviously there's been no rumours. Haven't heard anything about that, so that's just wishful thinking from me. So yeah, I think Miles Lewis-Skelly would be a great option.
You having that, Miles Lewis-Skelly?
Yeah, I'm having it.
Like that?
I'm having it. In my opinion, if he's been offered to us and the fee fits, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. But you're looking at a 19-year-old who has bags and bags of potential. The cynics will point out the holes in his game, but he's 19 years old. And I think for him, I think Manchester United is a really good fit because you've got the best English left-back over the last decade in Luke Shaw as a potential mentor for him. I think it really fits. And as I say, for all the frailties that people might be pointing out, all the haters, there's so much to his game. He can step into midfield, as Angelina said there. It's a no-brainer. Go and get him. If he's been offered and we can afford it, and no doubt the salary won't be breaking the bank, go get him, Flex.
See, the interesting thing about this now is to maybe bring a little bit of caution to it. I really like the player, and I agree with you. If we can get this done, get him. But I'm trying to put myself in Miles Lewis-Skelly's shoes. So, okay, fair enough. Bruno Guimaraes has come into Arsenal. It looks like it might be harder for you to play. But there's also a lot of games that are going on. Arsenal fans are like, no, he's going to play. This isn't going to happen, because we don't even know how true... Well, we don't know if this is going to happen, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, it's true that he's been offered, but what does that look like? But if you're Miles Lewis-Skelly, his issue is, I'm not going to play here, and he wants to play central midfield. Well, if he comes to Manchester United... We've just bought Yuri Tielemans. We've just bought Andre Santos. Of course, there's Kobbie Mainoo. We want a third midfielder because we need depth. We need squad rotation. But for him, is he at the bit of his career where he's like, I need to go and play. I don't want to be a squad player. I don't want to be a rotation player. That's the whole point. That's why I'm stuck at Arsenal. And the left-back situation is interesting as well because...
Luke Shaw's going to get injured, though.
But I mean, does he want to play there? Does he
want to
be
play left-back?
So, yeah, exactly. Right. Of course, do what you're told, or you're in a squad, and maybe he is. I'm just exploring what does that look like for him. If you're like the pathway at Manchester United, if we bought Miles Lewis-Skelly tomorrow, would he start for Manchester United and where? And if we're saying it's left back immediately, or taking that spot off Luke Shaw, because if we signed Lewis Hall, you'd say that he'd start immediately and he'd be left back. But I don't know if Miles Lewis-Skelly wants that trajectory or pathway.
I think it's a conversation that obviously that's what this window is for, and it's a conversation that he'll have to have with the club. If he's worried about minutes, I wouldn't go Chelsea. because you don't know. Chelsea just sign.
And they got
players.
one game a week as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, like I said, I think it fits, but it's a good question you're putting out there. Does he want to play left back? I would say for the time being, yeah, because stepping into midfield doesn't necessarily mean you need to start in midfield. The system, when we see Carrick's system, can be really fluid. So this will be during a game. He may well start at left back and finish the game in midfield. So it's whether he's prepared to transition during a game. But I think as a left back right now, at 19 years old, he should be snapping that opportunity. If midfield is a future ambition for him, no problem.
He's been playing more in central midfield recently. Like last year, he was central midfield.
He has to know where he's at in his career.
Pre-season, he's been playing central midfield.
No, I get you.
Even when he was going through that really amazing season, the season before, it was hybrid. So I get that 100% left back, really inverting into central midfield because of how Arteta plays. I'm just not... I don't know. I really like him, and of course, bring him if we can get him. But I just don't know, and where he wouldn't be a guaranteed starter like immediately. So he might actually find himself in a similar position in a worse team.
Yeah, potentially.
Not to be negative, but I'm just trying to think of.
You're right. I understand what you're saying there. I think it's a difficult one because, like you say, if he's offered to Manchester United, then he's the type of player that you would want. But where is he going to fit? It's a question for Miles Lewis-Skelly. We're not going to be able
Carrick,
to ask
I suppose,
him that.
of what's your plans for him?
Yeah, and Carrick. But what I would say is that we are going to have to see a lot of rotation. And, you know, Yuri Tielemans, you look at him, he's an exciting midfielder, but he missed 23 games last season. I know that he's not completely over the hill, but he's got 13 years on his legs. Andre Santos, we're not sure what's going to happen there. I know that he's been impressing in pre-season. Kobbie Mainoo, you know, we're still seeing the resurgence of him. Obviously, we've got Bruno Fernandes, that's fine. But, you know, there is space for rotation here. So in that sense, I wouldn't be too worried. But also, maybe a bit of competition. Like, it's probably hard to compete at Arsenal, but if you go into Manchester United, he might be up for the challenge. He'd be like, no, I want to start for Manchester United. Yeah. I'm going to be able to take that spot. And maybe he really backs himself.
I think left back is, like you said, chewing. Like, you get him in. Obviously, he'd have to learn off Luke Shaw a little bit or take his time. But essentially, you're saying that could be your left back for the...
We're going to play so many games this season.
Yeah, but I just hope he wants to play there. But we need a third midfielder, in my opinion, as well. I don't want to rely on Mason Mount as our fourth option. I want to buy a third midfielder. Yeah. So if it was him...
That's the only option at this point.
I would 100% take that. Yeah. So Miles Lewis-Skelly, let's watch out for that. There's probably Arsenal fans maybe looking at this going, look at them, thinking they're going to get our beloved Miles. Like, maybe this is all sort of agent-led to put a bit of pressure. They want to maybe get a bit of clarity off Arteta, what's going to happen with him, because he only signed a new deal last year as well.
It's not a new link, though.
It's definitely not. This has been going on for a little while.
I think there's probably a bit of weight to it.
Do you think there's something where Arsenal have actually looked, because when you read the reports, they're sort of saying that, you know, if a big offer comes in, when they've got Guimaraes, they've got Zubimendi, they've got Calafiori at left back
as well, right?
Pure profit. They would actually consider this.
I think they'd consider it. I say there's enough people reporting this now to say there's probably a bit of weight to this rumor, and you can tell, like Ange said, if you're in tune with the Arsenal fan base, they're no, don't let him go. What are you talking about? You know that. So I think that in itself shows that there probably is weight to it. And like I say, 19 years old. There's no harm in being versatile. Yes, he can play midfield and he might want to play midfield, but if you play left back for the time being, no problem. I say no brainer. Go get him if it's the right price.
100%. What is actually, just before we move on from him, what would we all deem as the right price? Current market, young English Premier League winner, Arsenal tax, Man United tax, British tax, English tax, all kind of tax. Minimum, innit?
Minimum 60, I think.
It's too much. It's too much.
It's going to be that, though. It's going to be that.
Yeah.
It's going to be minimum. Like, Lewis Hall is ungettable because they just didn't even give a price, but he would have been probably even more. But
yeah, Man United won't be bullied into that.
You can't go to Arsenal and say we'll give you 45 million for this.
He's being offered, but whether Man United actually tune into this is a different story.
Yeah, true. Good
That's
point.
True. Be interesting to see what happens with that one. Some of the other left backs that have been mentioned, Fulham's Anthony Robertson, Jorge Salinas. There's some other alternatives out there to Lewis Hall, so it is clearly an area that we want to strengthen, which we need to strengthen. Where do you guys sit on the lack of transfer business? So we kind of started off well. So we announced deals for Santos and Tielemans fairly quickly, to be fair, and out the blue from the shadows. Nobody really knew.
No.
But now there's been this gap where it feels like a lot of midfield targets have kind of gone. We're kind of going, oh, let's pause a little bit. Maybe let's look at left back. Oh, Lewis Hall's too expensive. Can't do that. We're hearing Lewis-Skelly now. And it feels a little bit like we're trying to realign ourselves to sort of re-strategize, but people are getting frustrated with the lack of business. Where do you sit on it?
I think we've been quiet for too long now. I think it's been quiet for too long where, look, there's still time left in the transfer window, but we're not even hearing anything. We're hearing about players being offered to us. We're not hearing about approaching anybody. There's nothing concrete. And there's so many problem areas. I'm reading narratives and I understand that the fan base wants to be positive. And I get really positive when the season starts. I get behind whoever we've got registered to the club. But there's positivity going, well, it's quiet. Look, the squad's doing well in pre-season. We don't actually need to add too much. And no, that is absolute nonsense. You compare how many games, hopefully, as Ange said, we'll be playing this season compared to last season. We need squad depth and not just names and numbers. We need quality. And we're not being linked to anybody at the moment. There's problem areas. We need left back. We could do with a new right back. We could do with a new centre back. We can do with a third midfielder. We can do with a backup striker to Šeško, a good striker who can either learn from him or work alongside him or whatever. We need a backup striker. So there's so many problem areas and we're not addressing any of them. There's time left in the window. I'm not going to lose my head too much. I'm relatively calm at this point, but if it's going to get to squeaky bum time with 1.5 weeks to go or something like that and we've not got anyone through the door, that's a concern. And make no mistake about it, any Man United fan that doesn't think we need any more names through the door needs to give their head a wobble. We do. There's a few problem areas that need addressing immediately.
Are you calm, Ange? Are you okay with where we're at, or are you
no?
getting
I
concerned?
mean, the issue is people are getting excited about pre-season. Pre-season means absolutely nothing. Like, let's be completely
You're not going to want to hear my
honest.
next take then after this bit. I've done something. I've been a bit.
You've
I've
been
gone
sucked
far
in. You've
with-
drank the Kool-Aid.
Not
You've
everyone.
drank
No,
the
it's just
Kool-Aid.
one guy. It's just one guy.
Right. Okay.
But we'll talk about that in a
Right.
sec.
Okay.
But you
My
won't like
whole
it.
thing is that it's not a full squad.
Yeah.
It's not a fully fit squad. Let's be completely honest. The whole point of pre-season is getting yourself
Everyone's squads are like
warmed
that, yeah.
up for. Do you honestly think that if United played PSG, it'd be a 1-1 draw? No. Let's be honest.
Go on, Flex.
Well, we've got some good
Be
players.
honest.
We've got some good players. I trust
Be
in Carrick.
honest.
I trust in Carrick.
You think that Man United would
Might
draw
have
with
to get to-
PSG 1-1?
What, so if we
in
got-
a Champions League, let's call it
Right.
Champions League semi-finals.
Well, you just changed the context there.
Okay, let's say
If
league
it was in a
phase,
group, league,
phase
because we've got to get
Champions League.
two out of the big ones, one home, one away.
Right,
So we
okay.
have to play one
So
of
do
them.
you think it'd
So
be
if we played PSG at home,
at their best with their full
we
squad?
can nick a draw, yeah? 1-1. You said 1-1. Didn't say win.
Right, okay.
I think we could do that, yeah.
Right, okay. Well, I'm not necessarily
So we're
that
definitely going to
convinced.
lose then.
I'm not saying we're definitely going to lose, but I'm not that convinced to say 100% it would be a 1-1 draw, because have you seen that front three? Have you seen our defence? Anyway, I digress. I just
might
think,
be alright.
you know what, I like
Flex
that
is
you're
beginning
being
to believe
positive.
already.
No,
That's
I'm not. It's
fair
only one
enough.
guy. Go on, carry on.
But the whole thing with pre-season is that it's warming up. You might see some younger players getting opportunities. Shea Lacey, for example, everyone's very
He's looked
excited
really good,
about.
Space.
He's looked really good. Santos has looked really good so far. Mason Mount, before his injury, that wasn't quite an injury that we're not too sure, has looked good. But it is a completely different ball game when the season starts. So I don't read too much into it. I think that we were spoiled last season. We got pretty much everything that we wanted, and it hasn't happened this season. As I said earlier, I find it really hard to believe, and I'm not a financial expert, but where's our money? Like, why have we got no money? I know that Marcus Rashford staying has kind of ruined the party,
Yeah.
and we've got
Yeah.
these wages to deal with.
And
but we've
Ugarte can't be
also-
sold.
Yeah, but we've also, Casemiro's gone. His wages are off the books. Not that equals that you can spend hundreds of millions of pounds, but, I don't understand why we've got no money, we can't do anything. And I think that it's a real missed opportunity, because we're going into this season. Yes, you've got Arsenal, who are Premier League champions, but you're dealing with a more vulnerable Manchester City. You're dealing with a more vulnerable Liverpool. As much as Chelsea, everyone's excited about Alonso. It's a lot of unknown territory with a lot of clubs that could be for the taking. Why not take advantage of that? That we are actually, on paper, one of the most stable clubs at the moment out of the teams you'd imagine are competing in the top six. So you'd say, what, Arsenal, and maybe if you're going to say that Villa's going to be competing in the top six, you'd probably say they're stable as well. Why not take advantage of that and go for it? So that's what makes me worried, in that, is this a bit of a missed opportunity?
What I find interesting, I 100% agree with you in terms of we need more players. But I have been just, in my journalistic bag,
Go on.
broadcaster bag, looking at both sides of this. And I've done like a little squad breakdown earlier, right?
Okay.
On other shows that I was doing, because we need more players, need everything. So we went through who we think will start the first game of the season. Like, obviously there's people that are late back and stuff. So not the final starting team once the season really gets going, but the first game at Hull. And I kind of came to this conclusion, right? Tielemans in goal, Dallo at right back.
Yeah.
I think he'll go Maguire and Martinez. I know Heaven's been really good, but I think Carrick, whenever he's been available, he's tried to use Martinez. So I just think next couple of games, I think he'll put him in. If not, it'll be Heaven, which he's done really well. Luke Shaw at left back.
Yeah.
I think he'll go with, I think Tielemans has got to play. Like, he just looks so good already, and there's 2 more games to play. So I think he'll go Tielemans and Santos. I'm going to say Dorgu on the left, because I think that he's had all of the preseason and he's just got a bit of wind in his sails.
Yeah.
Ahmad on the right, again, had all of the preseasons, looking all right. I think Mbumo definitely starts up front. Šeško is touch and go to even get minutes at the AC Milan game, so won't be ready. And of course, Bruno in the 10.
Yeah.
So when we put that team
Against
Hull, but when we put that team just there, okay, you know what? Forget that it's against Hull. Just that team,
Okay,
yeah?
okay.
Let's just say that team.
Yeah.
On the bench, that leaves Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah.
It leaves Benjamin Šeško.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It leaves Cunha.
Yeah.
It leaves Shea Lacey.
Yeah.
It leaves Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
It leaves Mason Mount.
Yeah.
So when you say it leaves Joshua Zirkzee,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
exactly. But he's having a good preseason. But we're not going to get caught. We know,
we
yeah?
can't
And he
get-
still might leave.
Yeah.
There's 7 players that I just said there, yeah?
Yeah.
In defence, it leaves Aiden Heaven. It leaves Lenny Yoro.
Yeah.
It leaves Mazraoui,
Yeah.
right? So what we were saying was, at the top end of the pitch, there's actually a lot of options.
Yeah.
Cunha, Rashford,
Dorgu.
Zirkzee, Ahmad and Boom, like interchanging.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of options. Now, I'm not saying this is why we shouldn't go and get another midfielder. Absolutely need to do that. This is why we shouldn't get a left back. We absolutely need to do that. But all I'm saying is there's another side of the argument where a lot of people are like, well, we do need a couple more extra players. However, this squad is actually looking quite good. We actually do have quite a bit of options there.
Yeah.
You're talking
It's
about
just top heavy. That's the only issue.
exactly. You're talking about bringing on Kobbie Mainoo. You're talking
Yeah.
about maybe bringing on Tielemans or bringing on Santos, whichever way around.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
goes.
But what this means is that when you look at those forward options, everybody needs to be firing on all cylinders. And you look at the likes of Ahmad and Bryan Mbeumo, who I think after AFCON did struggle. They
did.
weren't at their best. Not having AFCON, I think, is going to be really, really important to those 2 players. But you look at those 2, you look at Cunha, you look at Šeško, you look at Rashford.
They're all guys who can come on and change the game.
But they all need to be, like, in my personal opinion, you look at Šeško, Mbeumo and Cunha, they all need to be aiming for, like, 15 goals.
Yeah, well, aim for it, 100%.
At least, because I think this is we are going to struggle defensively because we don't have the tools at our disposal. As much as we have got a little bit of squad depth, we've seen Yoro make mistakes. Is Aiden Heaven ready to play week in, week out? Maybe. I'm not too sure.
I don't think he
He's been
will,
doing
but
all
that's
right.
the whole point. I
But,
think he's
you've
gonna
got
be in and out.
Maguire and Martinez. What I'm saying is that there are leaks in that defence. So we really need our forwards to step up to the plate this season. And I think that those 3 in particular should be aiming for 15 to 20 goals this season, if not more.
I'm with Ange here, I think you're right. I think that the forward players that you've mentioned there, yeah, fine, no problem. There's a few midfielders you can
They've got to
rotate as well.
perform, though.
They've got to perform. Out of all the names you've mentioned there, in terms of numbers, okay, yeah, there's numbers there, but quality, nah, I don't think there's enough quality there.
So what would you say? Cunha's quality coming off the bench?
Yeah,
Do you agree with that?
The forward line, no problem. Rashford, no. Mount,
He's not
no.
quality. Rashford's not quality to bring on.
No.
Marcus Rashford as an option to bring onto the football pitch to change a game is not an option.
We don't know. He's too unreliable. He's
I
too
understand where you're
unreliable
coming
for
from.
me to
Okay,
hang my
yeah.
hat on that. And same with Mount's
Even for 20
injury crisis.
In
He's
a
too
Manchester
unreliable.
United shirt, Marcus Rashford is too
Yeah,
unreliable
yeah.
based on
'Cause
the
we haven't had a
evidence-
look at him yet,
based
we
on
don't
the
know.
evidence that we have seen over the last couple of years.
Okay, yeah.
I can't hang my hat on
fair.
Rashford being quality coming off the
'Cause he
bench.
could
You've
be
got,
like, can't
PT,
really
he
you've
might
got
not be.
PTSD, you're hurt.
Yeah.
You're hurt by what's
Yeah.
happened. I get that.
Yeah, Mason Mount's too unreliable for injury. He might not even be an option off the bench.
Which is a
Xerxes not
shame.
good enough.
Currently not injured.
No,
Currently his
Xerxes,
longest injury-free period.
Great.
Xerxes is not good enough, I'm afraid. I like him and I know he's got good qualities, but he's not good enough. And the defence, Aiden Heaven is a young man. We can't hang our hopes on that. Hopefully we can rotate him and he does look good. Yoro, again, a young man. He's looked
Made
shaky when he
mistakes,
started. He's made a
yeah.
few mistakes. We can't hang our hat on him. Luke Shaw is aging. Dallo, is he good enough?
No.
Maguire's not good enough. And Martinez is again unreliable.
Delit's hanging around.
So there's
recovering
numbers
from
there.
injury
Not
as
back yet, yeah.
But not good enough.
On his way
if
back.
we're being honest.
It takes 1 or 2 people to drop out, which inevitably will happen because it happens during a longer season than last season for us to go, we're in trouble again. So I agree with your point, but I think we need more names and better quality through the door.
I agree that we need more players. I just think that when we focus on the players that we need, which we absolutely do need that midfielder, I'm with all of you for more quality. I'll put that there, right? But what happens when you do that, I've found, is like we don't really tend to discuss or think about people doing better, people being more experienced, people
that's a good
improving.
point.
Carrick, even like not revolutionising the squad.
Getting the best out of...
We don't often think about the evolution of the squad. So exactly that. So maybe now Lenny Yoro's going to have a really good season.
Good point.
Maybe now Ahmad's going to arrive. Maybe now Seshko with a year under his belt is more confident, ready to go.
Yeah.
Same with Cunha. Rashford, 100%. We don't know. But maybe it's going to be really good. I don't know.
Yeah.
The same with the players who have been playing. Bruno is Bruno. Kobbie Mainoo still has not had a full season, like from beginning to end. Can you believe that? Like,
Well,
it
you
feels like
say
he's
that.
been around for ages. He hasn't.
That feels like I feel for him, and we say, "Can you believe he's not got it? Can you believe he didn't get taken for England?" But then we're already saying Santos is going to start ahead of him. So there's something there. It's really
Well, I don't know
really
ahead of him.
interesting.
It might be with. I don't know. I think Tielemans has to play, but it's going to be really interesting to
It will.
see. So what I mean is like we spend a lot of time thinking of all the things we need. But when the team actually is performing well, and the team put up some really good performances last year in a short space of time. So that argument of sort of keeping things at a constant to work on that nucleus, because when you're improving, right, it is a bit of a balance. Like you need to keep a lot of constants that are the same to get better at something. It's like anything. You practice this one skill loads of times. Then you add in new ones, right? So I think that we can get better off of just the nucleus of what we've got. Keeping Carrick, Holland, the coaching staff, everyone's more comfortable, better feeling amongst the club. Then we've sprinkled a bit of extra quality. So I think that I personally think that we're going to see some improvements from a lot of players.
I agree.
Having said that, though, I have to stress back to the original point. We absolutely, though, do need to sign more players, 100%, because we're like, one injury to Luke Shaw, we know what's going to happen. Same with Mason Mount. We cannot rely on. It would be daft, naive, silly, stupid. And that's saying play a fire, you're going to get burnt. We will get burnt. If we think Mason Mount is all right as that fourth option and he's only in and out, then he gets injured, then what?
Exactly.
So I agree. But there is...
Because Man United have never actually seen the best of Mason Mount.
You won't see.
He's got into his
Yeah.
fourth year.
Yeah, you won't see it.
I know,
Three
and I was
seasons
literally
already.
looking at that the other day and thinking, have we actually seen? Because there are times
never
when I
have.
forget that we've got him.
Yeah.
I'll be completely
Of course
honest.
we
but
haven't seen the best of him.
We've never seen the best of him, and it's not a hate on the player himself. But when we signed him, he wasn't what we needed. He wasn't at the top of our priority list. So even when he was signed, we were all a bit like, okay, yeah, but we didn't need this. We need something else instead. And we've just never seen the best of him. And it's sad for him, but what you're supposed to do if you can't stay fit, can't stay fit.
Right. I need to say something to you lot.
Is this the player?
Is this a confession that you...
It's not that deep, but Ange might think it is. Basically, take Bruno out because he's Bruno. I got a new favourite, and I'm going to be really irrational about this player, Yuri Tielemans. I love him.
Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah, no, I love him.
I thought you were going to say Dorgan.
No. Well, he looks all right. But what I mean is like, I know you said like pre-season means nothing, and like it's just pre-season. Yuri Tielemans is different. Yuri Tielemans is everything we've needed. And I can see it already. It's not like a revelation of, oh my God, I can't believe how good he is. Everybody knows that Yuri Tielemans is a very good footballer. So we haven't unearthed a gem here.
Yeah.
But in terms of our need for a player like this...
Was anyone else in for him?
No, it was just, we just paid a release clause and that was it. Done.
Because sometimes
no
people
links, no
can look
nothing.
at that and be sceptical and think, oh, well, nobody else was in for
Oh,
him.
nah.
He's incredible.
I'm not saying I feel like that, but I just wondered.
No,
like,
I feel like with Yuri Tielemans, only Omar Barada and those guys can discuss how they pulled this off. Why?
I just really struggle to believe that they've done something good. I think that's
got to give him praise. Got to give him praise because they have. Because getting him for 35 million, I think is going to be pound for pound. Pound for pound. The best signing of the summer. And what he did in that 20-minute cameo is everything we've been crying out for a midfielder to add to our squad and be on the same wavelength of people like Bruno Fernandes with the ball, like Kobbie Mainoo with the ball. And I'm going to have a positive agenda for him. So I'm going to be very irrational. I've already made my mind up. If he plays bad, I'm not going to say it. I'll just act like he played good. Like, I'll be honest. So during the season, if he has a stinker and you go, oh, come on, you're just saying that because you say, yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know he's my new favourite.
Good to know.
I'm probably going to get a Tielemans shirt.
Yeah,
I just like him.
You're on board, man.
I love him, actually.
I don't blame you because I've been wanting Tielemans. He was my dream pick for years. As I say, you could say as a skeptic, it was a bit too late, but no, he's still on the right side of 30 and he's unbelievable. And it's something to be said when Bruno's receiving Bruno-esque passes from someone else. He has got it. And we'll I'll tell you what, we might look at it. I'm going to back you up here. Forget it. I'm going to back you up. We might look at it and we always say Bruno Fernandes is the best bit of business since Fergie. We might look at this and, like as you say, pound for pound over the next couple of seasons say this is one of the best bits of business we've done since Fergie. 35 million for a player of that caliber is a steal. Yeah,
and the way he in that 20-minute cameo, and you saw it, some of the passes. Yeah. And I was watching it on the live stream and I was saying stuff and I was like, am I going a bit mad here? Is anyone else seeing what I'm seeing? And then you go on X, there's all the comps, everyone's saying the same thing. Yuri, Love Struck. I was like, right, okay. Yeah. No, everyone saw what I just saw.
For you. I like this for you.
It's a good look.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I'm also very excited about him. I thought that it was, again, a great bit of business. Yeah. My only concern, which I've already said in this chat, is that he did miss 23 games last season.
But I think that was out of character.
I hope that is just a bit of a blip because he's never missed that volume before. I think my antenna just went up and I thought, 29, last season had a few injuries. Hopefully this isn't the beginning of something.
It's a fair
and I
thing
don't
to
want to
flag.
speak that into existence. It may just be a blip, but because he's been in this game 13 years, he started quite young.
Yeah.
That's my only concern, but you could pick holes in anybody and have those concerns. So I hope that that's not an issue.
Yeah, he looks really, really good, and I'm really excited to see him play. Lastly, Jose Mourinho has got a doc out. And just rolled her eyes immediately.
Oh no!
I haven't watched it yet, but we do know one of the big quotes that came out just before it dropped was, I can now exclusively reveal 13 years later that I was given the Manchester United job, kind of signed, ready to go. And then I changed my mind. And then I went to Chelsea. And obviously we all know what happened there. He went back, he won. Sir Alex is in the doc as well saying, kind of called, crying, sorry, going back on my word. Oh gosh, right, Ange, let's kick off with you. I feel like you're
I just
Jose hater there.
I'm not a Jose hater. I mean, I have my opinions on Jose Mourinho at the moment. I'm not his number one fan as things stand, but going back before I had a negative opinion on him, like, I'm annoyed by this. Like, what do you mean you turned us down? Like, I get, Chelsea, I couldn't do that to Chelsea. No, this is Manchester United. And the fact that he even says, you're coming from Real Madrid, like Man United's in that kind of conversation with clubs like that. It's like, how dare you dump us like that? In fact,
Chelsea's his first love.
I know, but I'm just...
How did you compete with that?
That is the offer of a lifetime. And he's very, very lucky that he actually got to... Things went so badly that he was actually allowed back in, because otherwise I would have had a policy of like, no, you've said no to us, you can get lost. But it's a combination of things. I'm irritated by him. How dare you turn down Manchester United? Who the hell do you think you are? But I'm also irritated because... things could have been so different. Like, you look at that, and I was doing a bit of, looking into all of this. Having somebody that is competent. Do I think Mourinho's the same manager as he was back in the day now? Absolutely not. But at the time, someone who's competed at the highest level, you've got this kind of guy coming in, the players would have been up for it. Versus, David Moyes, who wanted to, bring in Jagielka, or Adam all watching videos of Jagielka or whatever. Like, it's like night and day, isn't it? And Moyes has said that he wanted to sign, Gareth Bale, Cesc Fabregas, Toni Kroos, Leighton Baines, whatever.
But don't that just show our squad weren't great, though? Yeah. So it needed whoever, if Mourinho would have got it, they would have wanted to
Jose Mourinho would have got those players. Jose Mourinho would have got those players.
When Jose picks up the phone and calls it.
And you look at, interviews that Gareth Bale and Kroos have both done, singing that man's praises. you would have got those 3 players, or we would have been a lot closer to getting them, in my opinion. So it's kind of a thing of, who do you think you are, Jose? But also, like, I'm upset because we might not be in this predicament that we're in now. Like, we might have won a Premier. I know that team wasn't super strong, but somebody like him coming in, I think that we'd have had our pick of players. I think that we could have really strengthened that team, and we could have gone on and we would have won something big with him. And that just makes me very sad, because what could have been, we might not have had to have had the Ten Hag days, the Amorim days. We might not have been in this mess, because United would have been would have been viewed as a different club. Think of how many years we've had people making fun of us, mocking us. We might not have had to have gone through that.
Yeah, you're right.
That's sad, man. That is sad.
Listen,
So, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think this would get you this strong. I'm just gone strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can watch this whole documentary at this point. 'Cause I'm upset.
I'm not gonna lie. I was the complete opposite.
You couldn't care
You
less?
know what? When it came out, I went, "Why are you telling me this now?"
Yeah.
What do you want me
to do about it?
do with this information 13 years ago? The most I can say, to be fair, is that's deep, but that's the only way I can go. Is it could have been different.
Yeah.
Because it was like
What
kind
could
of prime
have been,
drove.
guys?
Yeah, it's more that statement. What could have been? But I'm like, well, mate, I got Carrick now. You ended up coming to Manchester United as well.
Tony
and it's
Cruz at Man United. Think about how long he went in his career as well.
What are you saying? Did you care about this?
I didn't care because it's 13 years ago, and I just kind of thought, well, I'm sure they did approach you anyway. I kind of had this thing in my mind where we probably did approach the best managers, and they all just said no. So I do get that, but I think Angie's right. I do echo the second sentiment that Andy said there. It could have been different, and if there was. The problem is we didn't give David Moyes enough time as well. Because
he was bad.
We were still he was bad, but we were still holding him by Fergie's expectations, and I think we'd have given Jose Mourinho more time, wouldn't we? We'd have given more time. And the thing is as well, if there was one ego, if there was one personality, if there was one man that can potentially even fill the boots a little bit of Fergie, it would have been
especially
him.
at that time.
At that time, he was at that level, man.
Yeah,
because we got him essentially. Well, we came in 2016, didn't he? After Louis, so we got him like 3 years too
he
late.
Dwindled a bit, and Cundy talks about his second spell at Chelsea and said there's a darkness to him during that period, and he didn't have that at the time. I don't think maybe Madrid did that to him. I'm not sure, but it could have been a really good fit. But hey, what could have been?
I definitely think 100% when you're saying he would have got those players. Obviously, it's all hypotheticals and if buts, maybes, but
there's a higher probability
100%.
that he would have got some of those players and some of those Real Madrid players that would have trotted along with him for the chance to play for Manchester United. Like we say, not a lot of players go from Real Madrid to the Premier League. Everyone's been talking about with the Vinicius Junior stuff, but I think that we would have seen it in that time.
And just made our feelings very, very clear on that one. Okay, this has been Inside Devils. Thank you for watching. We will be back with another episode very soon. Hopefully, maybe by then, we would have signed another player. Until then, see you later.